My dad calls me one day. He's telling me about how he went to McDonald's, and if you know me, you know I love my McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So he's like, Lei, which means daughter in Cantonese. I need you to call McDonald's headquarters. I need you to tell them I had really good customer service today. But more importantly, I need you to tell them that the Filet-O-Fish has become way too expensive. It's just not affordable anymore. On top of that, what is going on with the fries? They're either twice fried and overnight, or they're not fried long enough, and they're freaking soggy. I chuckle. I'm not sure I'm able to reach headquarters. You can do it. You can go online. Can't you just Google it? You can do it. This is a prime example of what our father-daughter relationship looks like. He asked me to communicate something, to translate something. I try my best to do that. That's honestly 90% of our relationship right there. I'm not even exaggerating. Sometimes, though, it does get a little absurd. I mean, the audacity to think that we can just pull up a Yellow Pages online, find CEO Chris Kempczinski's number, put it in my phone, dial him up and be like, hey Chris, thank you so much, but your fries in Pomona, California were just not what we were promised. A lot of Asian Americans out there probably know what it's like to ask to speak to a manager at 7 years old. At Best Buy, at Home Depot, at the Social Security Administration office. It used to be so terrifying. I used to be so scared. I remember the first time that I had to make an order at McDonald's by myself. I was forced to do that. I'm pretty sure I cried. So I've been assuming this whole time that my dad really wants to teach me how to speak up and how to use my voice. But now I wonder if part of it is also that he's afraid and he feels like he doesn't have a voice. I am an extension of him. I'm an extension of his hopes and dreams. He needed me to order from McDonald's like he needs me to call Chris Kempczinski now. Perhaps there's a small degree of humiliation when you order Filet-O-Fish with an accent. I mean, not only is the word Filet-O-Fish really difficult to say, but you're also putting yourself at risk of looking foolish when you don't understand a follow-up question. Not only that, you have to ask your 7-year-old daughter to come over here. I was an extension of him. I am an extension of him, an extension of his hopes and dreams. In the 1950s and 60s, famine was widespread in China. My dad and his siblings split 1 cup of rice, watered down, between 8 people. He was part of China's lost generation during the Cultural Revolution. He swam from Shenzhen to Hong Kong, belongings tied to his leg, Shawshank Redemption style, no big deal, because apparently we don't talk about this at all. He was a freedom swimmer. And with the help of his siblings, he was able to come to America. And I am evidence that he survived. It's not just him. When Chinese people came here in the 1850s, they sought refuge from the Opium War. And they immigrated to Gamsan, which in Cantonese means Gold Mountain, aka San Francisco during the gold rush. Chinese people built the western portion of the Transcontinental Railroad. In fact, they comprised 90% of the labor because no one else wanted to do the hard work. Chinese people built dams, they mined, they traveled up and down the West Coast, growing all sorts of fruits. Apples, cherries, pears, tomatoes, you name it. Some were even imported to southern plantations to pick cotton after the Emancipation Proclamation. Everywhere they went, Chinese people played their part in building America. And everywhere they went, America built rules around Chinese people out of thin air. The Foreign Miners Tax, the Chinese Exclusion Act, Chinese people were not allowed to testify in court. Many were detained at Angel Island. Chinese people faced robbery, racism, violence. Chinatowns and small communities were set on fire. Chinese people were murdered. They were terrorized. Sound familiar? I am evidence that we survived. I am not only an extension of my dad, but also those who had the same hopes and dreams and made it possible for us to be here. They made it possible through their blood, sweat, and tears. I am an extension of their forgotten, unspoken existence. And it has brought us to this day where my dad has the audacity to ask for better, at least through me, a Chinese American woman who was taught not to be afraid to ask for better. So, McDonald's, get your shit together. When I walked in those doors, this is not what I was promised. I mean, I love you so much. You've done so much for me ever since childhood. But you gotta fix those soggy fries. This is me being Chinese American. This is me continuing to build our legacy in building America. To my dear Chinese Americans and Asian Americans, don't think that we've assimilated. That doesn't exist here. Assimilation is a white concept, and America is multiracial, multicultural. So the next time someone serves you something, food, service, a system of government, that does not align with your beliefs as a customer, as a resident, as an Asian American, as a human being, the next time they serve you something that is not what you believe to be the future of whatever space it is you inhabit, I want you to do what my dad has taught me to do. You call their manager, you call the mayor, you write the president, and you tell them, thank you, but I have a better idea. Not only for yourself and your ancestors, but also for those out there who do not have a voice or whose voices are stomped on and stifled. You use your voice. You claim your space. You exist. Make way.